Well, today is Saturday, September the 7th, 2013, and it's exactly 1 week before bow season starts here, next Saturday, the 14th. So today I'm out here doing one final camera check and also doing a food plot update, so we can see how our plots have progressed so far this summer. It's been super dry lately. It hasn't rained for probably 3 weeks, and that's really kind of hurting the plot so far, especially turnips and radishes, since we planted them in late July. So those are the ones that have had the worst benefit of that. The corn and the beans are doing pretty well still, and I'll show you them here in a bit. But first, we're up here in the orchard right now, and I'm going to show you this plot. So up here in the orchard, we planted turnips and radishes and winter rye after we took our clover out of here, because it really didn't come back very well this year. So in here in the middle we got our winter rye, which came in pretty good, and the deer, you can see they've been going in through there. And the turnips and radishes are doing well in most spots, but you can see up there they're pretty dry, where it's been either too much sunlight or the lack of rain. See right here, the radishes, they are growing in here. Down the other plot there, I think it's a lot better. I'm gonna try and find a turnip or turnip bulb in here for you to see. Well, I was unable to find any turnips in there. I know there's some down the lower plot for sure. This plot didn't do as well as the one down below, so maybe the turnips really didn't develop up here. But this is more of an early season plot where we want it to be green during the bow season. We probably wouldn't hunt up here late season anyways. It's just an additional food source in case the turnips came in. So we'll take a look at the other plots now. Down here now in the big plot, you can see the corn all grew really good. It's pretty dry now, but it grew pretty well. Turnips and radishes down here look much better. As you can see, they're a lot higher than the ones in the orchard. But overall, this corn just turned out great. We saw this little bit of clover. Right over here we mowed, and it hasn't rained since then, so it hasn't really came back that well. But in here, the turnips, you can see they look pretty good. Right down here you can see a couple right there. There's another good one right here. There's some more down in there. But overall, this plot, it just looks a lot nicer and more lush than the one up in the orchard. So, pretty excited about that. The corn, been doing good so far. Let's take a look at an ear here and see how it's doing. You can see right here, it's just starting to dent a little bit. So a little bit more will be dented, and should be plenty of food in here for the deer for this winter. And they're already bedding in this corn. I just kicked one out now when I was walking over here to check this camera, and Scott heard one jump up in here the other night too, so it's working out pretty good. Here's just another view of the corn from a ways away, so you can see how big the actual plot is. So there's a lot of corn in there. Should be prime come late season. Pretty excited for it. So the last winter plot we have is our bean field over here in the corner where we had it last year. And these beans did pretty well for being planted so late. You can see there's some pretty significant browse right here, especially. All the tops are taken off, those beans in there. And pretty much all the beans have pods on them. You can see down in here. I was up here last week. The beans were quite as developed in the pods, but now they seem to be more developed. These beans, they got pods all the way down to the bottom. They're not as tall as they were in some years, but they got planted late. So at least they Still grew pretty well, and should make a pretty good late season plot for us again this year. We also had our final 2 clover plots, which this one was, we had 2 over here in the corner. This summer our clover didn't do very well at all. This one we only mowed twice actually, that one's we mowed 3 times, but this one didn't come back very well, and this one over here behind me had a lot of weeds in it. So I'm not sure what we're going to do about that next year. Like I said, I mowed them just before, or it hasn't rained since I mowed them, so kind of disappointing how the clover turned out this year, but there's not a lot we can do about it. So this is the last time, last interview before next weekend. Next time you see me, I'll be up in a tree. So pretty pumped for that. It's supposed to be right now a low of 40 on Friday night. I haven't seen the wind yet, but I'm guessing if it's a low of 40, Scott and I will both be out going for a doe. Gonna take at least 1 doe off both sides of the property, maybe even possibly take 2 off up here. Just depends on how the season goes and what we see. But we do have a lot of does around right now. But I think we're ready for the season. So next time behind the camera, I'll be in a tree and hopefully get some footage of some does going down.